a second and then a third time. Third time being a moment ago. What an arty shot. What a second arty shot. You know, that's about as good as you can get it from CSA Arty there. Well done. Here we are with an estimated 350 player Smoke and Steel League event sponsored by the 5th New Hampshire. Our first round today is going to be the Colquitt's defense between the 23rd New York and the Kentucky Outlaws, followed up by our second round, which is going to be the Piper Farm between the 9th Louisiana and the 7th Ohio. Here are the current standings in the event as is. And for the regiments for tonight, on the Union side, here are the regiments for that side. And then on the alternative, this is who will be playing on the Confederate side. With all of that in mind, here is the actual server population as is, 356. CSA right now up by 2 on the Union side. In terms of artillery, each side is the option. CSA taking 9, Union taking 6. So there is an infantry imbalance of 4-ish in favor of the CSA side. But for now, Union's pushing the pace already. Pushing out of their main spawn up to kind of this center point of the map, where CSA had a line a moment ago, but then they proceeded to fall back here. And CSA, they take a couple of shots and then back off to a further defensive position. Union's continuing to move out here. And before we get into the battle, frontline reporters for today, Union side. You have Tanban here from the 51st Alabama, and then on the CSA side, we have Soundwave from the 7th Michigan. Appreciate these guys so we can see what's going on the ground while seeing what is going on in the sky. And if you're playing in this match, send me a link to your POV, and we can put that in the pinned comment of the video. So, I am realizing the audio is completely off right now. I don't know why the game does this, but everything's suppressed for whatever reason. So once this charge finishes out, we'll reset the game quickly. My dearest apologies for that. But Union looks like they're trying to hit and take the extreme CSA left. It's so weird to hear it like this. Here comes Union, though. So that Union trickle kind of stops, and it looks like the most of the Union team actually pivoted to the woods. I mean, it completely shocked me out as well, the cameraman here. So Union takes the wood line, 12th Virginia here, 5th New Hampshire for the CSA defensive lines being pushed up on, and they're going to be charged. And I mean, once there's a little break, we'll restart the game quickly, but the charges don't stop here. CSA just trying to back off here as they are very much outnumbered. Zooming out, they're doing that. Rest of the CSA team held the charge, counter pushing, and then trying to go into the woods. I'm going to reset my game to fix the audio, and we will be right back. All right, here we are back. It looks like the CSA team kind of just probing around the Union side here, kind of shooting out. Again, apologies for kind of the botched introduction of this, but nonetheless, we're back at it. Haven't missed too much. Union slightly down on tickets right now. The Union ticket advantage on this map is about 38% in their favor. It was originally about a 19% advantage, but the developers buffed the Union side. They're up to 38%, so they gave Union, you know, about a 19% ticket advantage. That Union attacking side is the 19th Indiana with the Springfield 61 and the 2nd Wisconsin with the option of the Lorenz and the Springfield 61 as well. Meanwhile, CSA defense, on the other hand, they have the 6th Georgia and the 13th Alabama. Both have the option of the Enfield and the Springfield 55. And the Kentucky Outlaws versus 23rd New York. Kentucky Outlaws, they decided to pick this map. And the 23rd New York picked CSA, leaving the Kentucky Outlaws as the Union side. That's kind of how that all fell down. But yeah, just kind of a quick overview of the start. Union going in the center here. Union, as of late, has really liked to start doing this because it opens up options for them, right? It's a really big map with the point being in the center here. If the Union forms up on this right side where they did, they can either charge up the hill or push down into the woods. And it's going to force the CSA to make a decision. The CSA are either going to have to defend Union charging uphill, and if they all push up to the top here, which is what they did, the whole Union team was able to get into that woods relatively easily and not contested, which this wood area is one area that the Union team really wants to get to. Alternatively, right, if the Union team goes here and the CSA side all hunkers down in the woods, Union team can then just run up to the top of the hill and take the arty position and then have the high ground that's overlooking the entirety of the map. So all things considered, it forces CSA to make a decision. And you could say CSA, well, maybe they'll split up, you know. You put some guys in one spot. You put half your team in one spot, half the team in the other spot. But unfortunately, if you do that, the Union team will just all commit to pushing one side and then completely wipe you. So, with that all being said, again, both sides very much spreading out their line. CSA a lot more spread out than the Union side. Going from the right side to the left side here. So you got the 5th New Hampshire, 12th Virginia. The guys originally holding in the woods, backing up to some rocks. 7th Ohio is a little further behind to their left. Cutting more towards the center of the CSA line, you got 7th Michigan. It's a little volley there with Deckhart in the center of the line for the CSA team. Again, 23rd New York. Deckhart there in charge of that for the CSA team. Got a nice already shot from Union as Sussex Brigade and Free States Brigade mixed in here. 2 corps kind of really leaking out on this extreme CSA left side. Again, just spreading themselves out. Union kind of spreading themselves out in the woods as well. We'll look at them in a second. But it looks like you have 5th Virginia here, part of 2 Corps, just kind of skirmishing it out on the outside. Now, looking towards the Union side here. From right to left, you got Missouri State Guard, 51st Alabama, 10th United States. Mixed in here with Colquitt's Brigade pushing up front to kind of skirmish further forward there. And some Jackson's divisions holding further behind. They're actually shifting to the extreme right side there. Meanwhile, kind of this left side of the Union team holding on the rocks. Looks like you got Corn Brigade for the most part here. And then furthermore, you got the Kentucky Outlaws and 9th Louisiana on this left side. So far the shooting's going. I mean, we saw in that initial push by the Union side, the tickets were decently favoring the CSA side, right? Union side had to charge across a wide open field here going at the CSA, where CSA committed to holding up on top of the hill. And again, didn't really see a whole lot of that. But CSA committed a lot up there. Union, it's a bad place to charge if CSA's up there. That's why they just pushed down here to the wood line. It worked beautifully for them. But, I mean, they still charged a good amount of their guys up there because you have to sell it a little bit to at least get CSA to stay put or maybe send some more reinforcements up there. But you do that, you take a good amount of casualties, but it seems so far in the shootout, Union is slowly working its way back up, which is, I mean, what can you expect, right? Union has about a 38% ticket advantage on this map, which is a huge amount. It's one of the more extreme ticket imbalances towards one side. And with both sides having roughly similar cover, this should be fine for Union side, you would expect. But the concern for the Union side, you want to hit the defenders, the CSA side, down to engage by that 30-minute mark. They've only got them down halfway right now through about 13 minutes of gameplay. Now, this broadcast has not been going for 13 minutes. I kind of botched the intro a couple of times, which members will be able to see all the botching of that. But as I live streamed it all. Missed the first couple of minutes due to that. And then obviously the sound issues at the beginning, but what can you do? So.
Could you imagine if you had to accept, like the flag guy gets to accept, you have to request the spawn?
Oh, that would be so big. Fuck this guy.
No, what'd you say last round? No, fuck you.
That'd be kind of awesome.
That'd be fun.
You can't spawn in.
One of the spots.
So yeah, I mean, Union side, at least the nice part for the Union side is that the Union team can try to cap. Again, the point of contention says it's in the middle of the field here, and it is, don't get me wrong. But you can cap all the way about down to this tree, I think. All the way up to a little onto the road here. Which, when you're trying to fight over the point, getting this overlooks position over the whole point is the spot you want to be, and that obviously favors the CSA defensive here. So, Union could try to send guys out here to cap CSA, though. I mean, probably would stop that. You got 2 Corps kind of on the left side here, preventing that, and they could easily walk over as well to put their numbers on it.
They're still going to go for the flag.
Bobby, we kill! That's what we do, right?
That's what we do, brother. Goddamn. Hey, by the way, Death Star, this dude, BK, that's my homie, right?
What's that?
What's up, brother? How we doing?
Goon PK, that's my dude where I live.
What's
Right,
up,
right
Zach?
here.
Hell yeah!
This is turning into like
How we doing,
summer.
brother?
I'm trying to convince
Bobby, you
to
coming to the fucking meetup?
Oh, bro, wouldn't miss it, dude. You
This
know
is
that.
basically a
I
summer
can't wait to see you and your lovely wife. It's gonna be fucking glorious, like it always is, Bobby.
Yes, sir. We're doing some drinks.
Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah, brother.
Nothing we can't handle, boys.
Yes, sir. I'm going on that trip as well that they're talking about. I'm very excited for that. It's going to be unreal.
Good shooting, guys. That's a really good shoot.
Well, I might make a vlog for it like I have for the past couple years, although I'm unsure about it. We'll see when we get closer to it.
Yo, the dropping like
It was fascinating because when I went to the IVB trip 2 summers ago,
Oh, Mr. Pookie Boys, advance.
and I recorded that vlog using my phone. Like I had a charger in my pocket, a battery pack, and plugged it into my phone and recorded the whole day. And made the vlog out of that. And then for the Sussy trip last year, I had a chest mount that I put my phone on. There were pros and cons to both of them. We'll see though. Both were a little hassle. The chest thing was definitely more of a hassle. This is a beefy line here from 7th Michigan Free States Brigade on the far left side of that.
It looks like they're pulling out.
Some of the Union is starting to push on the point. You can see Sussy Brigade, 2 Corps immediately shifting to stop that. Again, this game is going very well for the Union, or CSA side, in terms of time. The Unions can give themselves more time by early capping the point and stopping that timer, but immediately CSA pushes up. Union already hits a nice shot on 2 Corps there.
bastards.
Get some spacing on and start putting down.
Spacing.
By the tree, by the tree.
And, I mean, the Union groups that have attempted to push up onto the point, Missouri State Guard, some Jackson's division as well, they're getting shot up most forward. Then you got 51st Alabama on the back. I don't actually know how far back the capture extends to, and now that I look at Tan Band Screen, who, again, 51st Alabama, they're on point here, so my apologies for that incorrect information earlier. That was just wrong where the cap ended. So they're trying to cap from all the way back there, keeping their distance. Very understandable. Now, Union's disengaged. CSA's close to follow. Looks like Jackson's division and Colquitt's brigade have actually pushed up into the woods as CSA's kind of shifted their attention to point. I mean, Union side could almost turn their whole flank this way and face this way, but you'd still got the 5th New Hampshire and 12th Virginia over there. I mean, a couple of Union guys have to pay attention to that side. 8th Ohio pushing up. Jackson's division continuing to push forward. And looks like they're going to do what I mentioned a moment ago. They just got to watch their backside. Which, I mean, a lot of Union focusing that other way. So, again, maybe not the biggest concern for them here. They take their shots, and they're going to fall back, not even risk it. Looks like 8th Ohio's pushing up now.
Shoot and run, boys. Shoot and run. Shoot and run. Shoot and pull back, boys. Shoot and pull back.
So 8th Ohio doing the same as Jackson's division there. CSA dropped to an engaged. Kind of a give and take here from CSA. Obviously give up a little ground, but you know, you're keeping that timer going, which in the end I think is going to be the most important thing. A lot more Union is shifting down here, trying to cap point. 10th United States Colquitt's brigade as well. Again, they're just trying to stop that timer. It's a really bad spot to try and capture the point from. Really bad spot. Again, you get why Union's trying to do it from down here. It extends off their line, but you got the infantry fire, CSA already fire. I mean, granted, CSA is going to be under that fire as well, but comparing the amount of cover that CSA got compared to Union here, Union's got none. CSA has a half stone wall on high ground. It's going to be very nice for them. I mean, Union looks like some of them trying to charge in right now. Jackson's division. Kind of a piss poor charge though, as the rest of Jackson's division shows up with 9th Louisiana.
Listen here, I can hear you playing your bugle. It ain't gonna help you. Your morale is...
Oh, I'm sorry, Northern.
The Kentucky Outlaws rolled up as well. Union dominates the charge, which is definitely something that they need there.
Right here is the inbounds. Right here's the inbounds.
I just made it. Woo.
And based on what they're saying down there, they charged out of bounds to make that happen. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's going to bring everyone's tickets down, which is really what you kind of need if you're the Union team right now. Is you need, I mean, obviously you would prefer only CSA tickets to go down. That's not going to happen, though. At this point, just getting into a lot of charges, if you can help bring down both sides' tickets in a hopefully significant way. Usually the quickest way.
See a flag straight northeast.
I mean, it looks like you even got more of the CSA team kind of forming up here. I mean, 2 corps, they've shifted their line from the open field up top. And Associate Brigade still to their left side here. So, I mean, Union team's starting to pull back into the woods. I almost wonder if Union team should try to just keep punching out at these CSA guys over here. I mean, CSA is kind of split up into 2 right now. That was a good charge from Union a moment ago.
Yes, yes, CEO. Move on back to the line. Get to the freaking line, guys.
You don't see too many volleys in many events anymore. It's always it's nice to see a volley every once in a while.
The new line up front.
I mean, really, outside a historical rules event, and maybe like 42nd Pennsylvania has just got a bazillion numbers, and HDC, House Divided Campaign, when we watch that on Saturday nights.
2 tickets.
Don't see volleys too often. So, Union down a little bit on tickets. Looks like some of the CSA pushed down, and maybe Sussy here.
Start putting shots on these guys that came out to meet us and the rocks down there. Nice, good work, everybody.
Sussy Brigade doing a motion action down the hill, either probably just pushing you some Union off. Have to guess, but they put themselves right back onto the point again and continue holding that. Union's going to have to full send charge at some point. You know, yeah, it's nice that you're in the woods and it's a great position to have for Union side. But it's just not working for time, so you got to do something else. Now, they tried to cap, didn't work. Good on CSA to hold it. But if you're Union, you got to try something else here.
Prepare, repel borders. All right, prepare, get brace yourselves, gentlemen. Repel all borders.
Oh, they're not coming as well.
I mean, we could potentially hear what the officers are saying, but they're in a Steam chat, so if you want to hear that communication, we could join, but I don't think that'd be appreciated. What do you got? Jax's division shifting to the right side of this Union line here.
What's your question?
And looks like they're going to try to maybe go for it again. You know, this didn't work the first time. I don't know why they're doing it again, unless they're trying to turn up top. But a lot of the Union guys just sitting in the field here, so it makes it look like they just want to kind of sit here and try to cap it from this, which they are right now. But we can assume the CSA will just move out. Although, oppositely, looks like some of the CSA pushing down the hill. 7th Michigan right now. Maybe going to try to cut them off and hit the flank. Get a flag, too, maybe. Nice shot from the pro gamer there. Meanwhile, 2 Corps further up the hill is shifting down to help out here as well. Union still taking the point, though. Opposite side here, charge here from CSA. 12th Virginia Free States Brigade here. They kind of sweep through Union groups that are on this side. The Grouchy Goose trying to get the flag out. And I don't think he'll be able to. Nonetheless, we'll figure that out shortly. 7th Ohio joining 7th Michigan. Union lines are getting slaughtered here as they shift their lines immediately. And now they're off the point. For sure off the point this time. The side that Union's mostly on this half-stone wall is for sure all capped. And, I mean, you can see that. I mean, CSA obviously shooting Union down, and on top of that, the Union team, they just went off point. So, I mean, CSA has more numbers there. Nice Union already shot. Unfortunately, it's not going to really change much. 7th Michigan, 7th Ohio pushing out here. They're trying to cut Union off and maybe get some flags down.
Suck my ball bag, suck my ball bag, suck my ball bag.
Suck my tip.
Fuck you. Remember the 7. Remember the 7. Remember the 7.
Ow! Who stabbed me?
Push, and remember the 7.
Don't stab me. Company about face. Company
About face, 7th. About face.
The Union backs off. Sussy Brigade wants the flags down. And Sussy gets one down, although Zaddy picks it up. You would think Zaddy would be in Sussy Brigade, but no, Zaddy's in Jackson's division. Jackson's division, though, the downvoted, you know, a whole regiment gets down.
There's nowhere to run. You're out of stamina and surrounded. You're going nowhere, boy. You're going nowhere but hell. Who's next? Get him, Stanley. Get him, Stanley. Red, hold fire. Don't gas too. They're done. They're done.
Don't come here. Don't come here. Run away. Run away. Back to the point.
5th Virginia skirmishers roll up. CSA already, you know, the good thing they missed there. Some Union main spawners charging through, trying to get these 2 down flags up.
Flags up. Get that flag up. Get that flag up. Get the fucking flag.
Please get this flag.
Rags is putting up an effort, though. He gets one. And Womp finishes. So, I mean, in the end, CSA knocks down all the Union flags. 2 of them will be retrieved. The other 2 that are down, there's a 5-minute despawn timer on those. CSA has control of the field. CSA also up by, you know, a half morale stage here. Union's very close to taking losses. You want to hit the defender down to taking losses. Again, if you're trying to keep a consistent pace.
Here they fucking come, gentlemen.
Down to taking losses this next stage by the 20-minute mark. So, Union's not doing good in a lot of aspects here. Obviously, fairly obvious. Don't need to say that, but we'll see what the Union team does to react. Now, you gotta guess, right? Union's going to the same position that they were at the beginning of the match, so I reckon they're gonna, you know, maybe do the same thing as before. And the only reason, especially that, I think is gonna happen is because Union has 2 flags down in the woods. If Union makes a push to the top of the hill and they get a holding position here, they're gonna have to hold out for, you know, another 3-4 minutes on top of another minute or 2 just to get the other 2 down flags back up there after they despawn. And the problem with that is half your team, if they die, they have to spawn main, so the Union team won't be in full strength. CSA's in full strength. They could probably push you out really easily, which is what I assume they would try to do. But who knows? CSA, Sussy Brigade here takes their shots and falls back as 9th Louisiana and the Kentucky Outlaws push upward. Bit of a spread out here. A lot of the CSA still in the wood line, although they're starting to make their way over here right now. Looks like a lot more Union making their way up top, though. 10th United States following CSC already getting involved here. Might as well. Great shots for them.
I want to stop running, Bobby.
Sam, rally everybody up.
Yeah, because I don't have anything left to run.
Get out of the road. We can't stay in the road. Get out of the road. Come on, regulars. Let's go.
Keep going. Can't believe this.
Come on, boys.
Alright, they're going for the top. Some Union are going for point here. I think they're trying to pull CSA away from point to early cap. Nonetheless, we'll see how the charge goes.
Put your back and chew them up, guys. Chew them up, guys. The charge is chew them up.
Alright, Union having success. They have brought at least 1 flag up. The 2nd flag's moving up right now, so Union's gonna be hard to hold this, but we'll see what happens. Here comes another charge.
Stab and go. Stab and go. Keep going. Don't stop.
Keep fucking going. Pay your goddamn taxes. Pay your fucking taxes.
There's no fun.
Come on now. Come here, see us. I can't protect you from 2 of them. Goddamn. Motherfucker. In the name of Jesus. Die, you piece of shite. Die. Shift it left. Shift it left when you get. Come on, shift it left.
We're gonna lose the whole right.
Alright, this Union charge is starting to fizzle out here. If Union loses these 2 flags on the top of the hill, that's going to be devastating for the Union team. And here comes the CSA countercharge.
Dude, I don't have a reload. There's one shot him. Oh my god,
Remember the
flag.
7. USA, remember the 7.
Get that flag. Seventh Michigan leads the way. Seventh Michigan leads the way. Don't get me on Battle Line Network. Seventh Michigan leads the way.
Bubba. 7 Michigan leads the way. Don't overextend.
For my emperor.
So, Union 2 their flags. Not a whole lot of Union left. The CSA that were coming up the hill starting to move back down. I think they're trying to close the door, but Union main spawns rushing down to take the wood line again. It makes sense, but if the Union loses these 2 flags, then Union's going to be in the same spot, just opposite side of the map. We'll get on the 2 flag bearers here. You got Ned here, Jackson's division running the flag out of bounds there, and then who we got here? Oh, Wintermute here from Jackson's division. Get the other flag out. So good on Ned and Wintermute. If it's out of bounds, 30-second despawn timer compared to what it would be if you dropped it inbounds, as mentioned earlier. 5 minutes on that. Wolf is trying to chase Ned down, though. Ned's being smart, right? Running out of bounds with the flag, but still running back towards the team. Although you could argue with how much he has to run, it would make more sense for him to die, which he does anyways. Is he inbounds? No, he's not. So good on him there. But Union teams push back down. They're trying to capture point again, but the CSA group's on the bottom of the hill already moving there. You got the 5th New Hampshire on top of that.
They're moving into the woods.
CSA reinforcements rolling in. 2 corps now arriving, putting themselves on the point. CSA up
Let's aim waste.
more than half a morale stage right now.
They're all in that bush there.
It looks less than a half morale stage, but the bars are longer than what you see. Union starting to push up the hill. It's very ballsy for them. CSA already, if you're listening, please hit a shot. It's the slowest looking charge I've ever seen, but nonetheless, they're pushing up. Union's going to try to break through. Can CSA hold?
Otherwise, I'm gonna cut you like a fish, you filthy grayback.
You get out of here, Zach, sorry. You get out of here.
Hi, this is federal agents from Breezy Ridge. We're here to kill your dad.
Follow me through.
Look behind you, cunt. On the right hand.
Melee mode. Let's get in this melee.
Avenge the major. I'm so sorry.
Back to loading, second bat. Back to loading, back to loading.
Hold steady, boys.
Loading, shooting now.
They won't break us today. They had it before. They won't do it now.
I tell you what.
At CSA starting to push out into the open field there.
There's still more on the left. Is that hill safe? Is that hill safe?
This is where you die, GI. This is where you die.
Get the fuck out of
You
here.
can't stab me.
Oh, you're gay.
Get all the way, I'll shoot him.
Banzai!
Going over, buddy. Oh, the hole.
He's down.
Fuck about on this side of the fence. Hop it and kill these traitors. I'm gonna smash your skull with a fucking egg.
You got fucked up, Yank boy. Get your ass Sit down.
Good shots right there.
Hey, I'm sorry about this. This kind of sucked. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm not sorry about this.
Fucking outstanding.
Pistol.
CSA sweep the field, pushing Union completely back.
Except for that one.
7th Michigan pushing up.
Keep shooting that flag. Shoot for the house. Shoot for
Just
the
trying to shoot at Union, who are reforming here. Union did not lose any of their flags in the vicinity, though. No Union in the woods right now. And Union almost down a whole morale stage now. And CSA should not be able to mess this up. I mean, they definitely can, but I mean, just the way CSA's playing, CSA's played a phenomenal round. I mean, can't say much, at least for the first couple minutes of the fight, but at least since then, they've responded very well to the Union team. Wherever the Union team moves, CSA's moving with them. Union's plan going into this, though, just trying to cap from the bottom of the hill. I mean, it's not a bad idea to at least try it, but they tried it, and then they tried it a second, and then a third time. Third time being a moment ago. What an arty shot. What a second arty shot. You know, that's about as good as you can get it from CSA arty there. Well done.
Chunky marinara right in front of me.
And there's nowhere for the Union team to go.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
They're trying to form up. They can't. CSA already pounding it in. I mean, you got pressure from more CSA. 5th New Hampshire had some guys rolling up here taking shots, although they kind of back off here as Union starts to push them.
I didn't mean to.
And I wouldn't be surprised if CSA already pounds another one in there. I mean, CSA is just kind of surrounding them. Looks like Union's starting to push out a little bit. Kentucky Outlaws, 9th Louisiana, 10th United States pushing forward. And I mean, you can see what CSA's done this multiple times, right? They form a line, take some shots, back off way before Union gets to them. And they keep doing this. And Union's never really able to get a charge into them. This sort of like take a shot, retreat, take a shot, retreat. It's giving time for the rest of CSA to show up in force. And Union's slowly weakened as they keep pushing in. And Union's just running right down and almost crossfire, essentially. I mean, this is just a slaughter. Union's... Wow.
Shoot, 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 shoot. Shoot this stupid left. JD, look up here. CQB, look right. Shoot him. You do dirty kikes.
And you've got more CSA down the road right now. 12th Virginia. This is... Wow.
Fuck you, you fucking Yankee piece of shit! Mason Masters.
CSA from the bottom of the hill, push up, close the door. Union not even close to capturing the point. And in the end, that whole encounter, very short-lived. Union still forming up in the house here. CSA already, I'm sure they're aimed at that. Maybe. So we got 5 guns up here. 7th Michigan, a 59th New York, 12th Virginia gun here. And yeah, it looks like aiming for the house, the big Duke 6. I assume Cobra Mike as well. Alright, is he gonna prime this thing? Yeah, let's go!
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Should be another one, I think, in a second, too, with that 7th Michigan gun.
Move up to the fence. Move up to the fence. Fucking A, we're just getting partied.
I made it back.
I mean, it just happened. It almost just happened.
But I didn't get blown up, though.
I cast summon cannonball.
Hopefully you don't jinx it.
Abracadabra.
And I also wonder if we can watch the arty shot. From up there.
Get up with your star! Get up there!
I need to get a sound, like a loud, booming soundboard so I can cast tungsten ball sack on people, bro.
What am I doing?
To the snake rail regulars. Go, CQB! Go!
Oh my, I need to contribute to the team for a second, hang on.
Get him, Disco, get him. You just won the game for the Union team. Maybe not this round, but a future round. Union team pushing forward to the snake fence, forming up here. CSA team, for the most part, just forming a big battle line facing this way. And Union pushes out.
Imbalanced by 20 people. We're down by 20.
You're down? No, there's no way. Oh yeah, there's a way. Actually, it's only a, it's a 17-man imbalance, considering artillery in the mix, CSA 9, Union has 2. It's a 10-man infantry imbalance. So it looks like Union's pushing up. Some are trying to charge, some are trying to sit back and get their shots before they go in, but nonetheless, Union's charging in. This is one of their last chances, maybe.
Hold, spear wall, spear wall.
Oh shit, nope.
Get their fucking flags, come on.
So a bit of chaos going up here. Union gets one CSA flag down. More CSA reinforcements rolling up, though. The Union's starting to trickle out here.
Come here. It's just both VA. Whose company is this? Oh.
Oh, hey, Mason.
Shoot those flags, shoot those flags, shoot those flags, start shooting those flags.
I don't
Straight
have
east.
a...
Michigan, lift!
Watch left, watch left.
Flag hold here. Flag hold. Flag hold. Flag hold. Flag hold. Flag hold. Flag hold. Flag hold.
Palestine. Back him out. Stab and go. Stab and go. Stab and go. I'm handing them out for free.
CSA lines swooping up. He's trying to knock down Union flags, throw them back. Union team backs up to the house. And all things considered, that's probably the most successful Union charge of the day. Again, that balance is now 16. And according to a server announcement, it was some super late joiners here as of late that have caused that. And that's a good server announcement. We have no ability to balance, so if CSA could send over, hey guys, that'd be great. That's a crazy quote from the admin. Again, I appreciate all the adminning that they do for this event. I mean, bounce really every event we watch here, bouncing that, figuring out numbers. It's just
Yes, sir.
that's just a funny quote. And honestly, too, at this point, it is so late into the round that it doesn't matter. I mean, the round, at least from what we saw, was decently balanced for a majority of the match, at least that we've seen here. And they keep track every, I think it's like 5 or 10 minutes, they ping out the server imbalance. So, I mean, really, holy crap. Regardless of anything, the Union team, this has just been destroyed today. Balance aside at this point, CSA's just played a better game. And sure, the balance amount at this point definitely raises a couple question marks, but when you've been losing the whole round, you know, just on strategy from what I've seen here. So, nonetheless, CSA holding up on the top of the hill, Union reforming up at the bottom hill, really the only place they can reform while going onto the point. Some of the CSA pushing out into the wood line, 7th Michigan here on the flank. They've done this a lot tonight. Looks like Free State's Brigade's with them as well.
Everyone in front of you is not friendly. Independent fire, guys. Whoa, big gap in the middle of the line.
Ooh, nice.
Make sure to
I mean, this is just slaughter here. Let me just watch it from down here.
Get over the stones.
Break out to the wall. Why are we not capping?
You can't cap from this spot with the whole CSA team lighting you down. You've tried 3 times this match. It won't work a 4th, that's for sure. Union, this is really the only chance they can do. If they can charge up the wood line and pop out of the woods on CSA's flank, they might have a chance to run over the CSA. But you can see, like 7th Michigan Free State's Brigade instantly responding, backing up, and forming the line that way. I mean, this is just a really smart defense from the CSA side.
So many bullets, so many wonderful
Now, Union can win this game if they hit CSA into breaking, a sliver away from that, and capture point, they can win the game. But they haven't been able to win a full team charge yet.
Make a stand, boys. Make a stand. Here we go.
Spread it out, spread it out. Line up towards fire.
Where is CQB? Oh, here you are. I have found you, gentlemen.
You seem to the northeast. Fucking shoot him up, boys. Shoot him up.
I mean, at this point, Union's got 1 push left, so I don't necessarily mind if they, I mean, you can shoot it out for like 20, 30 seconds, but you got to go, and it's going to take you a minute to break through CSA, who has spread themselves out. Such brigades put themselves down on the bottom of the hill. Looks like the backside 2 corps of the CSA line starting to push forward. All right, Union needs to go now.
Silver, get on the other side of the
Do not aim either. Do not aim.
They're to the south of us. I thought they were a different area.
Coming! Take aim right in front of you. Take aim.
When's Union going to go? Oh, they're starting to. This is so trickled, though. What a volley.
Here they come. All of them are coming. Hold here.
Don't leave the line. Don't leave the line. Get back.
their flag.
So, Union, I mean, they're breaking through CSA. Flag down. CSA, it's breaking. If Union captures point, they win. I mean, a little bit of a trickle charge there, but Union almost defeating in detail here.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Good work.
Southwest West, brace guys, brace them.
Brace West.
Charge for Pakistan.
Spare wall!
Nice work, spare wall, boys.
Pakistan! I love Pakistan!
Get bonked.
I love Pakistan!
And CSA ends up pulling the charge there. Sussy Brigade and 7th Ohio pushed up. They knocked down 2 Union flags there. 12th Virginia from TKO. 5th New Hampshire now pushing out. Last of the Union here. Pushing out the point, but they're not going to have numbers here. And so in the end, CSA gets a, all things considered, a very dominant victory here over the Union team. Really well played for them. They just adjusted really well. Whenever the Union moved, they moved with them. You know, CSA, I mentioned it earlier, but CSA team would have a defensive line. If Union charge it, they back up, keep shooting, back up, take a couple shots, back up. And Union team could never really get into them. And that allowed for CSA reinforcements to show up. Like we saw with, I don't remember, I think it might have been Saucy Brigade. I don't know. CSA kept doing that, pushing or falling back up the hill to the artillery position when Union eventually charged that. And it gave CSA time to have their friendly show up while also getting a few shots in as they were doing it. Really just a really impressive round for CSA. And I know the balance got a little off there at the end. Above 15 is where it's too much to overcome. But really it wasn't much of an issue until the end of the round. And Union team was just getting destroyed by strategy. Sure, it doesn't help the Union team 100%. But is it the reason they lost? I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. One person. But you can think what you want. Anyways, yeah, congrats to 23rd New York there on the win. We will see you all shortly for the second round. And again, apologies for the intro shenanigans. Before we get into the second round, I'd like to quickly give a shout out to our YouTube members. Your support is greatly appreciated as it helps the work that we do here now, including the work that I have planned for the future of this channel, which, believe me, we have big things coming along the way, regardless of how long that takes. If you want to get live streams of all the War of Rights broadcasts that we do, including an exclusive non-War of Rights broadcast on the weekly, consider becoming a YouTube member down below. And here we are with the start of our second round. The Piper Farm, looking at the server population right now, it is 366. Numbers have been balanced out because the 5th New Hampshire balanced from CSA to Union, so very much appreciate their help with that. CSA taking 6 on artillery, Union taking 16. So as a result, the infantry in balance is going to be 9 in favor of the CSA side. So as a bit of a reminder for the leading regiments on this map, the 9th Louisiana, they picked this map, the Piper Farm. 7th Ohio decided to pick CSA, which means the 9th Louisiana is leading the Union side. Again, as a quick reminder, congrats to 23rd New York on the win of the last round. They defeated the Kentucky Outlaws. So this map, the Piper Farm, I don't know why I keep adding D in front of it. Maybe because, you know, the Ohio State University, frankly, one of the worst universities in one of the worst states, but that's a different argument for another day. Although there's really no argument, they're just the worst. But Piper Farm, Union attack, they have a 25% ticket advantage on this map. This is one of the few maps the developers did not fix in the ticket balance changes that they did. When I say fix, I mean more adjust, because a fix would mean the ticket balance changes were for the better, which some were and some weren't, so I don't know if you could say that overall that's a fix. But the Union attack, they have the 20th New York with the Mississippi and the 7th Maine with the Enfield. Meanwhile, the CSA defense, they've got the 8th Florida with the option of the Enfield, the Springfield 55, and the Springfield 42. And they also have the 8th Alabama with the option of the Springfield 55 and the Enfield. Now, this has really happened over the past weekend, and I apologize to do this again, but you can see when I zoom in, it fizzles and lags a little bit. And so, as we can see, a very perfect game with no bugs and issues whatsoever. I just got to put a mental note that when we change the map packs, you know, not want to restart the game. But again, apologies for this. We will be right back again. All right, again, dearest apologies for that. You know, it is what it is. But nonetheless, nice arty shot from the CSA side. Piper Farm is, you know, they haven't done the ticket balance change on this map in the recent change, and honestly, it's one of the more balanced maps in the game. Both sides have equal opportunity to win the game, and as a result, we can explain more of that in a second, but for now, Union team starting to push out from the stone wall. Haven't missed anything since last hopped into the game, but Union team's just kind of going for it, although they're so spread out here pushing this.
We're being dumb. That's so smart. And it's so good for us. Just shoot up.
Hold.
Hold that line. Hold that line, boys. Hold that line.
On the right.
Come here! You really scum. We're gonna get this tip, officer. We're gonna get the
Hey, come here, pussy boy! Come here, pussy! Oh shit, not bad.
So CSA lines are kind of bending based on what the Union team is doing. Union's continuing to try. They're not letting up the pressure. They're still spawning guys in, pushing them forward. Union flag's also pushing up a little bit as well.
Thank you so much. I love you. Jeez. One more. Don't play together and then let's get to the
Come on, guys. Hey. Stab and go. Stab and go. Watch out.
Watch your fire.
Shoot! Oh, sorry.
So, very much an iffy charge, at least initially for the Union. They did end up doing some damage. The problem for the Union team, though, is they're charging from a down low position at the stone wall up to a CSA defensive line that is slightly deflated. It's kind of difficult to see up in the sky, but again, from the bottom of the hill, it goes up and up and up and up, and eventually it crests about here, and then it dips down kind of in a defilade over here, kind of, which is where the CSA defensive line is. Union trickled into that. CSA got a lot of good shots on the Union team. I mean, CSA, they lost, almost a third of a stage, but Union is lost essentially 2/3 of a stage as well, again, roughly. So, really good start for the CSA side. And, that is one strategy of the Union team. Union historically has liked to take this stone wall and either try to charge around on this right side, get into the orchard, or alternatively, which they're not doing here, is they'll try to charge left and hit the stone wall here and then charge in from the opposite side. Regardless, they charge in on the flanks. One meta that I have seen for the Union team slowly start to appear as time has gone on, and Union could do it, again, plenty of time left, is you have the point of contention here in the center of the map. Union team could try to send guys up here to early cap, force CSA to leave their defilade position in the open to allow the Union infantry on the stone wall to shoot them to crap. Now, will that work? It has kind of worked in the past, but nonetheless, we'll see. CSA defensive line, you got Sussy Brigade here, kind of pushing up. They were holding the extreme left side of the CSA line, but instead they're just trying to get some flanking shots on the stone wall. Meanwhile, CSA main defensive line on the left side, you got 12th Virginia, Free States Brigade, 7th Michigan, some Free States Brigade mixed in there, 23rd New York as well. And then looks like you got 2 Corps and 7th Ohio on the extreme right side of the CSA line. Meanwhile, Union lines, on the other hand, you got Jackson Division and 5th New Hampshire kind of mixed in with each other right now. Again, appreciate 5th New Hampshire for bouncing over here. 51st Alabama kind of in the mix as well. Corn Brigade to their right, with Missouri State Guard, 10th United States, some Colquitt's Brigade. Here's the bulk of the 10th United States. And then you got some Union guys down the road in 9th Louisiana and the Kentucky Outlaws. I mean, I'm surprised they're not trying to turn the flank, but it's because Sussy Brigade's backed off here. So, again, we'll see what happens. Union team basically formed up at this point.
I'll share it with you, okay? You can use the whole.
There's too many people. I can't play at 4K 160 frames.
Through it too, so you don't have to stand up. See, bro, I blend in. Like, that's the thing, though. The Confederates are aiming above the wall, not at the wall, so they're not gonna hit me.
See, no, I would beg to differ. They're aiming at the wall.
I think they're aiming above the wall because they're expecting people to pop up over the wall. So naturally, they're going to be aiming at the guys who are standing up, not me.
Well, Union team, they're going for it again. A very trickle charge. I mean, you get what Union's trying to do, right? They're hopping up and over, and then just immediately going. But the problem is you know, any amount of delay, it really gets exasperated. I just completely butchered that English word. This is why I didn't take... That's why I did math in college and not English, but Union's going in again. Although they're trying to focus on the extreme flank, almost out of bounds. Well, CSA line doing exactly what they did last round. They take some shots and back off.
Far left again, boys. Far left again.
Union's continuing to push up here.
Stay together, stay together. Do not waver. Do not waver.
And this Union push-up starting to stall out here. Some of the Union just sat back and kind of shot it out. Who is it here? 51st Alabama. From Colquitt's brigade as well. And they immediately back off. But, I mean, unlike the previous round, even though the Union side is not winning these engagements, it's still fairly even. And each side, you know, is losing tickets very fast. So it's very good, right? Time is not really becoming an issue for the Union team. So if the Union team wanted to sit back and just make this a shootout for 34 minutes, they could. Now, that might be stretching it a little bit. But, you know, it's just... If you bring everyone's tickets down really fast through a lot of charges, time really doesn't become much of an issue anymore, which if time's not an issue, there's less stress involved. Now, obviously, if you start growing a ticket gap with the defenders, then yeah, that could be something, but it doesn't look like it's too far off right now. I mean, again, it's hard to see since, you know, the bars are longer than what we actually can visually see.
Oh fuck, get back over, oh fuck. You can do it! Yeah!
For now, the shootout continues. I mean, Union side, just looking at the tickets right now, they're probably going to charge again. I mean, it looks fairly close.
Yeah, shoot the...
Loading round
shift
ball.
around, stay around ball, stay around ball.
Raining death!
Good heavens.
That's it, guys.
Holy shit. We just got blown up.
Must have been the wind.
Real. Artie's not real. I had thrown in an anti-Artie statement there. Gotta get in one for broadcast. So, shootout continues. I'm really tempted to hop into Steam Chat and be like, what are they thinking? What are they doing? No. I mean, you can see the CSA team, they're just barely holding back in the depth lane. I mean, like 7th Michigan, they're making sure they can at least somewhat see the Union. I mean, they're not really going to be able to see him a whole lot, by all means. I mean, just looking at the, like, a head level of the soldier here. But it's keeping themselves in cover. I mean, CSA, your #1 priority is to get that black timer down to 0 while not, you know, losing a lot of tickets. Now, obviously, when a charge happens, you can't really control that unless you just dominate your opponent in a charge. You're going to lose tickets regardless. But if it's a game of tickets, you gotta, as a defender, you need to get about to a third to a half morale stage lead to feel comfortable about the advantage you have. Which, again, fairly balanced map. I've seen it go both ways. It's always a close match regardless. And I mean, so far, even though CSA is up on tickets, they're not enough of a lead for it to matter. And Artie's just pounding this front. I think they're hitting a little behind, but they're knocking people over. And the reason why CSA needs to grow buffer is because of how those final stages work. Union hits final push, defenders CSA, they'll hit last stand. Last stand is you die, you don't come back. Whereas final push is if the timer is high enough, it'll lower down to a couple minutes. But the attackers still have infinite spawns. So if they both hit their final stage at the same time, CSA, if they die, they don't come back. Union, if they die, they can keep spawning in, but with the limited time. That's just a huge advantage to the Union side. So as a result, CSA needs to kind of grow a little bit of a ticket buffer. Which, I mean, they have so far. Again, once CSA starts falling through engage, we'll see what that actual amount is. But nonetheless, Union side, looks like they're starting to push up again, not charging, instead forming a big battle line.
Fuck, they got laid down.
No, I don't. Brother, what the fuck are we? Psalm? Jesus Christ.
I'm just trying to read.
I don't want to talk to him now. I don't want to talk to him.
So, and I mean, the thing is, too, right? Holy crap, there's a volley from CSA.
I am a fat chud.
So, I mean, right, CSA has their side of the death blade, too. The Union can use, you know, the opposite side of that death blade as well, which I think that's what the Union team is trying to do now. CSA looks like they're about to start dropping. You can see their circle about to... Blah, 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 blah. They're about to start dropping through engage because you can see the bars actually starting to drop down. So it's about a fourth of a stage. It's a lot better than what it was after the initial charge for the Union team. So that second charge seemed to do better.
One can and take out half of them.
Yo, Archangel, you got oil, buddy. Stop oil farming.
Union team just trying to see if making this a closer range shootout will do anything, just disregarding kind of that stone wall, which, I mean, the CSA battery position is starting to blow up the wall a little bit, kind of losing that cover almost. But is it worth it, though? That already shot. You can see the shell going through the sky. And kind of mentioning at the beginning of the match, some of the Union, at least 8th Ohio, is pushing through the point right now. Now, the tickets are fairly even. If not, CSA is up. CSA is up, not by a lot. But there's no downside to the Union team early capping this point. The only time an early cap is downside for the attackers is if they're up on a lot of tickets. Because if they're up a lot of tickets and the defenders regain, then they'll regain tickets and be even with the attacking side. But that's, again, only if the attackers are up on tickets when the defenders retake. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world for that to happen. If it does happen, just because if the tickets are even, with Union having a 25% advantage, they have more raw tickets on the CSA side, so really it's just a win for them. Especially because, again, how those final morale stages work. But CSA not really contesting this. 10th United States pushes up with 8th Ohio and Union early caps. CSA being engaged, so black timer stops with a gold timer of 12 minutes. So if Union holds for that, they win the game. CSA obviously needs to retake within then. And at this point in the round, it is, at least to me, in my opinion, fairly obvious that this round is going to come down to tickets in the end. And not so much time. And the only reason why I think that is important is because if it's a battle of time, CSA should always retake this as quickly as they can to keep the black timer going. Always. Now, if the defenders are down on a lot of tickets, that can definitely be another reason to do it, so that they can regain tickets. But with the tickets of each side being fairly even, time not really being much of an issue anymore, if you're the CSA side, you should see if you could try to find a way to get a ticket lead and not necessarily retake right away. Now, maybe it could involve retaking, but, you know, it's not as much of a haste as I would normally say it is, which normally is like 90% of the time CSA should try to retake as quickly as they can. Very rarely would it be it's fine to kill time, which only CSA movement right now is 7th Michigan going up. We just kind of saw him take a volley here at the Union left side.
Dress your line, gentlemen, dress the line.
Fall back to the corn, about face, about face.
About face, pull back, pull back.
And honestly, it looks like Union's actually starting to get a little bit of a ticket lead here. And if the Union team can keep drawing the CSA out of the death blade, Union will have a fine match. And that's what's kind of started to happen here. Now, Union lines have pushed out, and that has really forced a closer shootout. And this closer shootout seems to be helping the Union side out. I mean, Union's now noticeably up on tickets, which means when CSA retakes, they're going to regain tickets.
I'm gonna stand right where this guy got sniped.
Hey, you're grouping up.
Twice.
Spread it, boys, spread it. You spawn in, you find your place on the beat.
So, I mean, at this point,
Yeah, I was worried about them being in the way, but they're not in the way anymore, so that's fine.
I mean, CSA could regain tickets and get even with Union to be like at a fourth of a morale stage. Probably less if they try to retake points, and Union's still kind of aggressively holding it. CSA, though, is not going for it. Instead, still kind of getting this shootout going. And, I mean, looks like you got some of the Associate Brigade guys on the extreme left side pushing up 59th New York. And at least 1/5 North Carolina here, 4:20 a.m.
It's about 190 yards out, 200 yards.
Very nice guy he is. Voice called with him a week ago or so. Very nice guy. But, I mean, again, normally I'd say retake, but this is just me thinking. And, you know, it's just kind of, you know, I'm yapping. But I almost wonder, right, is CSA could make this go on for a little longer. And even though Union would be losing tickets, which means CSA couldn't regain to as many tickets as they would want, you know, if both sides are still lowering on tickets, and then if both sides are lowering on tickets, that means they're close to their final stages. And if CSA then after the counter, after retaking the point, could find a way to get ahead on tickets within a short period of time, with both sides not having a lot of tickets, then that means Union wouldn't have a whole lot of time to react and figure things out. And as a result, maybe that could give CSA the buffer. Now, that's what I'm at least trying to think. Maybe that's why CSA is not retaking right away, seeing if they can try to find a way to, you know, get a ticket lead back. Or, lower both sides' tickets, so that when they retake and regain and be even with Union, they're both at a lower stage. And if CSA can then immediately afterward find a way to get a good enough of a ticket lead, Union won't have enough time to respond. I almost wonder if that's the thought process behind it. If that doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. The skirmish game mode, this game mode, is one of, if not the most complex game modes that I know of. Now, the base game mode skirmish is not terribly complex. Each side has tickets. You lose tickets. Once the defenders hit breaking, the attackers can instantly win when they capture the point. Before then, though, they have to hold it for a certain amount of time. But the counterattack is where things get spicy and where it gets super complex, and you can play the game in a lot of different ways. Now, a CSA at taking losses, looks like they're now going to push out here. I mean, Union, for the most part, is backed off, still kind of testing it, but you got 12th Virginia and 7th Ohio pushing up here. And they're just going to lay it into their side. And Union's charging from multiple sides here. I love it.
Get off the fence, boys. Get off the fence.
All right, break those zones. Break those zones.
Something popping.
Oh, shit. Hold the line. Kill these fuckers.
More Union pushing through the orchard here as they're starting to take the point back. Not all CSA push forward. Union kind of defeat in detail here. Here comes some more CSA.
Hold the line. Hold
Get
the
them,
line.
boys. Get them, boys.
Right here,
Let them up. Let them up.
Kill them all. Their flag's running. Kill their flag on the north there.
Holy shit, Red.
Get that guy. There you go.
Northeast,
He's dead. He's dead.
Thank you. Thank you. Get lows. Get lows. We got time. We got time.
59th. We're not done yet. Break it left. So go.
Take it to him, boys. Go, go, go.
Send it. Send it. Send it. Send it. Send it. Send it.
Wheel it! Penetrate and kill! Penetrate and kill! Let's go! Johnny, come and get it! Shoot that up! If you've got the guts, you filthy playback son of a bitch! Come and get me, you gutless fucker! Come on! You gutless Johnny son of a bitch! Cowardly greybacks! Cowardly greybacks!
CSA's attempt trying to catch Union off guard, kind of defeat him in details. They're reforming up here. Try to get a little bit of a ticket edge here. What an arty shot from Union, though.
6-away withdrawal back up the hill. We're headed south.
And it looks like CSA is going to back off here, but they do retake the point in the end. Some of the Union forces, while Sussy Brigade backed off the CSA left side. Taking the corner here. Kentucky Outlaws, 9th Louisiana there. CSA slightly down on tickets, though, despite that little push up there. And love that charge from the Union there at the end of the counterattack there. Or the early cap, whatever you want to call it. It's because, right, Union was up a good amount of tickets. And if CSA takes the point, they regain up to where Union's at, and both sides are even. So if you're the Union team, you want to lose a lot of tickets fast so that CSA doesn't regain as many tickets. Now, sure, initially it maybe wouldn't make sense for Union to dive bomb in and lose tickets, but it's like regardless of, you know, how high you are above the CSA defense upon CSA retaking, their defense is going to be even with you regardless. And so you'd much rather both sides be at a lower stage with more time left on the clock than allowing CSA to regain more tickets and, you know, it take you longer to knock them down later. So it's a great charge for that reason, just because CSA can't regain as high as they would want. But also, if you win the charge as Union, you also hold the spot. So there are those two things. So CSA's got to find a way to, I mean, the problem is what we saw Union do with that early cap. They sent a couple guys forward the cap, 8th Ohio, 10th United States. They captured the point. CSA didn't really contest. And understandable, right? CSA doesn't want to leave their death blade. They leave their death blade, they're getting shredded. And so the problem for CSA is once they get close to breaking, Union assumably is going to start sending guys up to the point. Only a couple. Might be some more, but at least a couple. And start capturing that point. And if CSA don't move out of the defilade and into the open to shoot or charge those guys out, Union will just capture and win. But then if they push out into the open, Union can just shred them from the stone wall. So Union's kind of, I mean, having a masterclass of a round here. I mean, both sides tonight have had a masterclass of rounds. CSA played really well the last round. Union team playing well this round. And the thing is that CSA has kind of been very, you know, CSA is responding to what Union's doing. Union is very much controlled what's going on in the match, but that just makes sense for the attackers. Now, obviously, we saw the last round with the opposite, where it almost felt like, I mean, obviously, it makes defense that defenders are reacting to what the attackers are doing. And the last round almost proves the opposite, per se. But, I mean, both sides tonight have had advantageous positions, and they're taking advantage of it. So CSA is starting to form up in the center here. It's a little surprising, kind of giving up their extreme right side, which Union has, you know, pushed up twice tonight.
Maybe it was 7 or 6. Who knows?
Union side starting to push out, make the shootout closer. And I think Union's starting to realize CSA's not there. Now, what I think CSA's trying to do at this point, right? They've really backed up and they're starting to hide behind the barn a little bit. I think they're trying to hope the Union team early caps the point, and if Union team early caps the point, CSA will have 7 minutes to try to knock the Union side down to last stand. But CSA pushing out onto the point right now to contest Union, I don't like this decision. But nonetheless, it's what they're going to do. 7th Ohio, 7th Michigan, 12th Virginia on the point. I mean, the problem for the CSA team right now is that they are down almost a third of a stage in tickets right now. That is a ridiculous amount. And ever since the first charge, CSA has not been able to find a way to gain tickets on the Union side. CSA's been always on the negative side of the ticket trade. And so, if you're CSA, you gotta you got to let Union early cap there and then try to knock them down the last stand, because Union, during the counterattack, is considered the defending team, CSA the attacking team, so the last stand final push stages flip. I think that is a big blunder here from CSA. Now, CSA now hits breaking. No counterattack anymore. If Union captures point, they'll instantly win. That's, I think, a blunder there from 7th Ohio. Again, they're leading CSA.
Right over the hill.
So, I mean, at this point, Union can make this a shootout. They've got 21.5 minutes to shoot CSA down one morale stage till they're in last stand. Very easy to knock them down to the last stand. You have plenty of time to do that. But, on top of just a shootout, Union can put guys on point like they are right now. Capturing it, it's going to force CSA out into the open like it was a moment ago, and they're just going to keep bringing them down. And the likelihood that Union team loses the ticket lead they now have, it's not that high. I mean, Union would have to majorly mess up, and Union team, for the most part, is sticking together, which makes it harder and harder to do that. What nice arty shots we got here.
Don't mind that. Up and over. Let's go. Move it to the left.
CSA is going to have to go for it. There they go.
West. Let's go. We're going north. Charging 7. To the point, 6 Louisiana. Let's go. Ignore the balls. They can't hit you.
CSA wins on the front. A lot of Union still behind.
I'm with you, son. I'm with you. Oh, yes! Nothing we can the boys we've been through was! We can!
So, I mean, CSA looks like they knocked down 2 or 3 Union flags there. One of those was CSA. So, yeah, 3 Union flags are knocked down. Maybe a 4th. You still got some 51st Alabama and some more behind for Union alive.
Watch out. You're dead, boy. Who's next? Who the fuck is next? You're next. You're all dead. Come on. Keep fighting.
5-9, make a fuck you line. Left side of the point.
So, and you can look at the tickets. It's the largest lead Union's had today. If CSA leave the defilade, it is very rough for them.
Never mind. We are pushing forward.
7th Michigan, we're pushing forward to the stone wall. Let's go, 7th.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
So, CSA starting, some of them starting to push down to the stone wall again. Maybe catch Union off guard here.
You're dead,
He's shooting.
Look at them standing off. These gutless cowards. Filthy claybacks. Come here, you bastard. I'll kill you. I'll kill you, you fucker. Die, traitor, die. Who we got on?
What are we doing?
Take your bite.
Steps back from the wall. Take 5 steps back from the wall.
Union team here starting to slow it down a little bit. And a couple still pushing up. But yeah, CSA, they're pushing up here because what just happened a moment ago, CSA doesn't want to let Union just walk up and try to early cap point again. Or, not early cap, but just capture and win the game, you know, by sending a few guys up and forcing CSA out again. You just saw the result of that. So CSA pushing up, they're also making sure Union can't pick up their flags. The Union guy dies, he has to spawn main most likely. Jackson Division pushing in, rest of the Union pushing forward as well.
Or something, because moving up to the east. Shoot him.
Break your fucking load.
Hold stone wall. Hold stone wall. Hold stone wall.
And then pushed up, kind of gets halted. Union's got so many tickets though, it almost doesn't matter. And CSA, it's last stand.
I feel a lot better. I'm a lot more awake now.
So if CSA guy dies, he don't come back.
Work together. We're loading money. Stay has won.
They come to you, boys. They come to you. Fucking ball and ball in your fucking face.
Join the banners.
Your life doesn't matter. Shoot that guy right there.
Steady,
north,
gentlemen,
north.
steady.
There's
You keep
Rambo's
the
north.
shots down
There's
there.
Rambo's north. Good shot.
Oh, Union, I mean, they have a crap ton of tickets, but they're continuing to triple forward here. I mean, Colquitt's brigade, most of them going in here. I mean, you got a mix of what? 10th US and Corn Brigade. Is Union going to lose this game? Someone's playing a nice song down there. I can't listen to it, though. What is going on? I still think Union's going to win this game, but Union... What? This is very embarrassing for a Union team right now. I mean, 10th United States starting to form up on the side. You got 5th New Hampshire pushing up. This is... I mean, a lot of Union guys dying and skirmishing out of line. There's no reason Union team should be hitting final push with a good amount of CSA left.
Keep left, boys. Look left.
Finish game back down left.
Down to the left.
Some Union starting to go on the side here. I think that's 10th United States.
Charge left. 7, charge left. Charge left.
I'm framing it. I'm framing it.
Work code. This is it's so joking.
Some of the CSA charging through. They're trying to hit the final push. It's 2 Corps, 6 Louisiana.
Oh shit. Oh, sorry for the team kill. Oh fuck. Sorry for the team kill. Oh shit. Sorry for the team kill.
Alright, so 2 minutes left as Union hits final push, but nearly all the CSA are down, and I mean, Union had a lot of tickets left, and my goodness, they used every single one of them. So, 9th Louisiana is going to get the win here over 7th Ohio. All things outside of the last couple minutes of this round here by Union. Union's played a really nice round. CSA had a nice start, got a ticket lead on the charge, but granted, Union charged really poorly there. But ever since then, Union made adjustments and did well. So, yeah. Congrats to 23rd New York and 9th Louisiana tonight on their victories, pending any contestment, of course, which, you know, you never know. But, nonetheless, really not much more to say about this round. I mean, both sides played well. Union had, Union can control things on this map. Again, a very even map. And we kind of saw there, even though Union was up by, 2/3 of a stage, by the end, CSA still made it very close. And, that's why as a defender, you kind of need a little bit of a ticket buff there. I mean, if CSA had gone to last stand a little later, you never know. But again, sorry for the shenanigans of the intro and having to restart the game multiple times. Apologies for that. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, go beneath the video, hit the join button. By doing so, you can become a member of the channel and get a live stream of all the War of Rights broadcasts we do, an exclusive non-War of Rights broadcast on the week. You can also sponsor a broadcast like the 5th New Hampshire did for tonight. Very appreciative of their support for that. And if you were playing in this match, send me a link to your POV, and we can place that in the pinned comment of the video. Besides that, appreciate y'all. God bless, and we'll see you all in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.